All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this incredible film. And yeah, one more time, can we give it up for this film? Just give it a bit, say that. Please get Doris. And yeah, and I wanted to double check. Is there somebody who was involved in this film that's here today? And oh yes, oh my God, is that Kaylani? Oh, dude, please come on forward. Can we please get you forward? Man, yeah, sorry, I don't know if you were here earlier when I started. Oh, cool, excellent. Yeah, come on up. Yeah, please do. Oh, yes, yes. Give it up for him, man. Yeah. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this one.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, have a seat. We'll have you guys share that mic. And, oh, perfect. Thanks so much. All right, and we'll give you the other one with the BraveMaker flag. Cool. Okay, first and foremost, I kind of ruined the surprise. I said your name when I should have let you do that. Okay. But yeah, now that you're here, please introduce yourselves, the role you played, and yeah, we'll start with that.
Thank you. Yeah, my name's Keilani Kitaura, and I played Wendy.
Excellent.
All your friends are here, huh? I'm David Kiyoshitama. I was Mr. Ibata.
That's great, man. Yeah, excellent. And first things first, with something so powerful and downright just like straight raw and real, could you tell me a little bit about what you found challenging with this project and also something you found rewarding or fulfilling with this project?
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Thank you. So I think one thing for me that was a little challenging is that this takes place in the 1940s. So we're I was born in 1990, so I'm pretty far removed from the 40s. But what was really rewarding for me is that all four of my grandparents went to camp. So really exploring my roots and where I came from, what my ancestors have been through was really rewarding for me.
Yeah, I think I had a similar experience because my mother was born in Topaz. And so you see the pictures up there of my grandfather in the war while my grandmother's in the camp, and they never talked about it. So we couldn't really find out through our family because my grandparents refused to talk about it. They didn't even speak Japanese because they were born and raised in Berkeley. And so my grandfather had to learn Japanese because they put him in the service. And then my grandmother learned a little bit in camp. But they never spoke Japanese once they got out, and they refused to let us speak Japanese. And so that was really hard growing up. We didn't really know, but once we sort of looked back at it, it was really difficult. And I was, oddly enough, I happened to be a farmer, but my great-uncle was a farmer. And he was fortunate. He kept his farm, but he was sent off to camp as well.
Man, that's incredible. I want to thank you for being so real and honestly so deeply vulnerable and truthful with every single aspect of what helped bring this to life. So I apologize if I touched a nerve. It's just that what was on there was just so real and so unbelievable. So thank you for sharing that part. And with that, there's actually one more thing I wanted to ask. It's kind of to piggyback off of what you guys said and what I asked you. Was there a particular scene that that really sticks out to you for the reason of, okay, now I get it, now I feel it? And now I understand. I mean, not that you didn't before, but like when you were making this movie about something so real, was there a particular scene that stuck out with you? Because the reason I'm asking that is because for me, towards the end, when it was you on those steps, just having a straight up real talk with them saying, you could do this GIB bill, and that could be a way to move forward and stuff like that. Because to me, it just reminded me of my personal favorite movie, The Shawshank Redemption, when it was just them on that thing, and then the director said, that scene alone, I have a movie. And so with that scene alone, I was like, oh my God. And it was towards the end, too, when we talk about all that stuff. So is there a particular scene that stuck with you and felt with you like, okay, now I get it, and now I have it?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah. So for me, that was when we filmed in the barracks. So in San Jose, there's the Japanese American National Museum. And they have a barracks recreation there, and I think they have pieces from actual camp they used to build that. So we got to film in there, and being doing that scene in the barracks and imagining what it's like to live there for 4 years it really kind of hit home. It's uncomfortable. Like we didn't even have to deal with the cold and the wind and the sand, but that definitely gave a real piece of reality for that.
Yeah, and for me, I think there's parts of it because the way you shoot a film is you don't meet all the people, you don't see all the scenes, you don't even see the whole script, right? You see it all when it's done. So most of us, in fact, you probably didn't see it either, the film in its entirety until the first screening. And so for me is one thing that my grandmother said in another interview. She didn't tell us this, but she remembers the smell of the horse stalls because they were in Tan Fran down here. And they were, there was no privacy, right? Because there's gaps and everything. So she remembers the smell. Even though they painted them, they still stunk like horses, right? And then for me also the cafe scene, where when he said, I thought it would be different when I came back, and it's the same. That's actually based on Senator Daniel Inouye in Oakland when he couldn't get a haircut, right? He was back. He was in the service on his way back to Hawaii, and he couldn't get a haircut, even though he was in uniform. Yeah. Right. And then, oddly enough, for me, my scenes aren't really personally that powerful to me. The one that really hit home was actually the Chinatown scene where he says, "My fight's ended, but yours is just beginning." Because we grew up within the Japanese community, it very divided because of no boys. And most people outside the community don't know about that. But the Japanese hated each other. There was factions that just hated each other because some were no-nos and some had gone to war and sacrificed their families and things like that. And so for me, that I grew up kind of hearing those stories, but not really experiencing it because the people who, again, the adults who were dealing with that try not to, bring it to their kids. But that hit me. I was like, wow, that's now I understand what it was all about.
That there was hate within the same race,
Yes.
Man.
And like he said, it's Hakujin is white. So he said, as I said, the white people have us arguing. It's like, what's that all about?
Amongst each other, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's hitting home right here, right now, dude. Man, that's amazing. But you know what? With that, I'm gonna open up to the crowd here because I could go on for hours with you guys with that without hitting home. But if there's anyone with a question or a comment, yes, perfect.
And I loved how you guys included, or the director and editor included you guys as personal family photos. Were you guys friends before filming, or did you guys, how did they know that you guys particularly, or I don't want to say all Japanese in the Bay Area, have that story, but how did they know, you guys were actual, personally grandchildren or relatives of someone that actually, from the story?
So I think it's because the Japanese American community is super tight knit. Everybody kind of knows everybody, and it because it's such a shared history. I think a lot of people came together, and the director Curran was able to rally everybody to tell this story.
Yeah, and the thing about the Japanese community in the Bay Area. Maybe a couple generations back, basically, everybody was Japanese. They married each other. Whereas now, there's a lot of interracial marriages because there's just not a lot of full-blood Japanese people here anymore because there's no immigration from Japan. So it was, I think, for the people that grew up in the Bay Area that are Japanese, went to all the different churches because the Japanese church culture here when we were growing up was very strong. And they have all the different festivals, and everybody would meet each other. And they had all these sports within the Japanese community, so everybody met each other. And I think so the Japanese community was very, very tight. And it's less so now, just because all my sisters, they're not married to Japanese guys. Yeah. And so nobody knew each other really before the film. We all got to know each other during the film and after doing things like this. And,
wow, so
yeah.
So the chemistry came after you guys met each other on set.
We never, like I said, we met very briefly at some of the farm scenes because we used the same location, but she was shooting the day after I was, so I wasn't going to hang around an extra day just to watch, right? But she came in early, so we met very briefly, and then I was gone, so we didn't really get to meet till after we started doing the press stuff and things. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing, man. Thank you very much. And wow, so great. And is there any other questions? Any comments from the audience? Yes, right there. Oh, actually, I'll get you the mic so that way they can hear you on the stream.
Are you guys professional actors? How many of the cast are actors?
Define professional,
Meaning,
or like an
is this-
enthusiast
So
and
is
a
this,
hobbyist.
how did this project come about? Is it through the community, and the community decide to recruit within friends, or?
So I was a producer on the short film that we made of this first, and some of the feedback that we got was that it would be nice if we could find Japanese American talent to work on this, but it's actually really hard to find, to find Japanese actors.
They're all doctors and lawyers. Actually, they are the guys in the movie.
Yeah. But sorry, what was the question? How did we find?
Yeah, how did you cast the actors?
It was all kind of word of mouth and like who knew who. But I think the majority of the cast are not actors.
Yeah, the only people that were actually who were acting for a living are me and Ryan, who had played my son. Who, oddly enough, we kind of Jimmy, but he's really Ryan. But we actually kind of look alike. So that old joke about all Asian guys look alike, it's true. No, but we were laughing because like, hey, we actually look similar and we're father and son. Age range, everything just sort of worked out. But I had a mutual friend in the industry who knew Kerwin and said, hey, he's looking for this last role. My role was the last one cast because they didn't need to shoot it. So they waited till basically the last minute to shoot him. And it was just really just happenstance that I was introduced to Kerwin.
It's amazing. And, actually, two more. So, yeah, we got two more questions for you.
I just actually I had a comment. I just wanted to say thank you for bringing this film and telling the story. My father, my kid's grandfather, was born in Tule Lake. And so my he's a big talker. So he's very into researching it, and he has been, talking about it for his whole life. And he worked, he helped to support like Allegiance, if you're familiar with that play. But anyhow, it's a really important story that I think, especially today, needs to continue to be told and made real. So I really appreciate all of your work on this.
Yeah, it is real. I mean, so Chizu, who's the grandmother in the film, she was in Poston, and the things that happened basically 80 plus years ago are happening again today, and a lot of it's just ignorance, right? If you grew up not knowing what occurred in U.S. history, you're going to repeat it, and it's kind of what we're going through now. We're in a very divided time, and we were a divided time then. And what I try to tell people, it's like, you got to remember, those were Democrats who were in power back then. Okay? So racism, anybody can be racist. And it's just, and really it's a cautionary tale of how easy it is to other people, to really put them in an other category and think of them as less than. I think that's the real, theme of the story and why it's so important today.
Well, yeah, amen to that. And, with that, we got one more question for you from the audience.
There's somebody there with his hand up, too.
Oh, the gentleman back there too, Art, he said, had his hand up.
But,
yeah.
No, but go ahead.
Question, I could see this living on like PBS. Do you guys have any idea of where this film is going to live for the public?
I think there was some talks about PBS, but I don't know. That's a director question.
Yeah, Kerwin is actually talking to somebody at KQED, but it's long, right? And so it'd have to be recut basically for television, I think. Yeah, it can be done, but where there's a will, there's a way, I suppose.
Nice. And I believe there was one more question up there. Yep, perfect.
While you're walking up there, can we just say thanks for coming out so late on a Sunday night?
Yeah,
that was
seriously.
great. We really appreciate it.
Hello. I have a question about the business side. I mean, is the market being saturated right now with all content being made and all that stuff? At what point what I don't know. Who's like coming to you to buy stuff or find distribution, or I mean, what's your like? Could you talk about your like strategy as far as like not festival, but like your film trying to find a buyer to buy it? You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense, but I think that's still what we're trying to figure out
so
ourselves.
You're still figuring out.
Yeah.
So you're
I don't think
you're
there's
still going the festival route to hopefully and find a buyer that's interested in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and we do a lot of partnerships with Japanese American groups around the country.
Well, I mean,
So-
like with your film, I think you have a niche market. I don't think you need a distribution company. I think you need to just like say, hey, I'm not going to deal with the traditional market. I'm going to go to all the college town and sell my product as an educational system package, because every college has money to promote to film. You can get $5,000 per every screening all across America, but you have to travel with it. I think that's the way you can make your money back.
Sounds like we need to hire him.
Yeah, thanks.
We've actually
Great
we've
advice.
done some screenings. We did a high school screening at Kealani's high school, alma mater. We've done some college screenings around here. Our most successful one was in Rockland at Sierra College, in terms of the colleges. But it's really difficult for us because the colleges aren't so good at promoting it. Sierra College did a wonderful job and it was sold out, full house. But we went to like Hartnell and then Ohlone, and they weren't well attended because nobody knew about it, right? And so it's really important that the people who want to bring the films there, like again, we're not going to these places. These people are asking us to come. That when they ask us to go and we do it, that they do their part, which is really to support it and advertise it and promote it.
That's great. And actually, that piggybacks to the final question. That's always the fun one for me, for what it said. Could you share with the audience how we could follow you, support you on IG, some platform, and also tell us what's next for you guys, what's coming up?
Cool. So yeah, you can follow Kintsukuroi the film on Instagram and Facebook. We keep our Facebook group updated, so if anybody's interested in seeing where that goes or where our next screenings are, that's where we list them. And my Instagram's just my Kealani777.
Yeah, I don't. And people have asked us if we're going to stream it. And Kerwin was saying, at this point, it's really difficult to get on the streaming platforms. You got to know the right people, and it's costly and things like that. So that's not really something we're looking at right now. We normally, again, if we're at the nonprofit groups that we work with, we generally have a table out there. We sell the DVDs. We have a booklet that kind of explains the storyline and things like that. But for now, this is sort of how we do it.
Okay. And do you have an Instagram or anything to follow?
I don't.
Okay. Let's say we'll just follow it. We'll just get the DVD as you said, and then.
Well,
follow
I
it,
have
and then-
Instagram, but I don't really use it.
No, okay.
I'm a retro
That's
grouch.
No problem. But that's great. Thank you very much for sharing that and sharing the experience, and also sharing what that really is, because it hit some really major points, not just personally, but also in life today. And I really appreciate you bringing that forth to life. And so thank you once again, and thank you, as he said, thanks for sticking with us so late, and you were in for a real treat. That literally topped off our 7th annual BraveMaker Film Festival. Couldn't think of a better way to put the cherry on top of this. So with that, thank you again. Check out BraveMaker.com so you can find a way to help, support, and donate so we can make it to year 8 and we can get more pictures like this. Maybe get you guys back in here if something else pops off.
Well,
And,
let me add to that is that somebody saw the program last week who's part of the JA group at UC Berkeley. And then now, see, this is how it grows. And then they want to bring it to UC Berkeley. So they reached out to us, and we're in conversations with them. So if anybody you know is interested, we'll only have a conversation with them. But it has to work for everybody.
Okay,
Yeah.
There it is. And so go check this out at UC Berkeley coming up next. And then that'll find more ways to support moving forward. So with that, have a good night. Thank you very much for staying for this incredible film. And thank you guys for joining us. And till next time, until next year, have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.